We're the first crew that's been allowed aboard this ship. It's the Slavutic. It's the control and command vessel that's been under blockade for a week, and it's sitting next door to a Ukrainian corvette, which is also under blockade. And you can imagine for these officers who are being forced to make a choice between the new authority in Crimea or the new government in Kiev, they are really between a rock and a hard place. But you can see behind me the bridge. They are watching the Russians, who are watching the Ukrainians. They're out there with their binoculars, or they have been. And behind me here, the deputy commander alongside the Marines. Now, I've checked the magazines of those rifles that the Marines are holding, Matthew, and I can tell you there are no rounds inside them, no bullets. In fact, the only thing they have to defend this ship, and remember we're on a Navy warship, is this hosepipe down here. So what they are basically trying to show the Russians is that, you know, they want this to be a peaceful standoff. They put mattresses all along the railings of the ship over the course of the week to try and stop Russians fixing grappling hooks and ropes to the side of the ship. And this man here, who is standing guard, is effectively on point, but without really effectively any arms to defend his ship. Now, let me show you the blockade, because from up here we get a much better view than we had from the dockside. If you look out to the harbour wall there, you'll see the minesweeper just heading out to bay, and then you'll see the crane ship just to its left. So two ships from the Black Sea Fleet blocking the channel there. Beyond it is a minesweeper out in the bay that's been patrolling back and forth. Down here is the Russian patrol boat. I mean, we sneaked onto this boat right under the noses of the Russians. They wouldn't have let us do it if they'd have seen us, I can tell you. And I'm going to take you, it's a bit difficult because there's a lot of kit on board this boat, as you can imagine, but we're going to switch over. We're going to switch past our producers and our other camera crew that's here, excuse me, and we're going to show you the Turnerpill, which is the corvette on this side. This is the heavily armed gunboat. They've been cleaning all the decks today, swabbing the decks. This might be a crisis, but I can tell you everything is shipshape. And just have a look slightly more up the channel here, because these are the Russian ships. There's 4 Russian ships from the Black Sea Fleet. So, you know, these two navies have lived cheek by jowl for so long. These commanders, they know their Russian counterparts, and the commander who I've spoken to today says he can't get through to the Russian colleague he used to be so friendly with. They're not answering calls. At least on the dock side over here, sorry, I'll just squeeze past you, but at least on the dock side, we're not seeing Russian soldiers. But in these buildings at the back yesterday, when we were down here, there were snipers up there, there were machine guns on the side. They have allowed them to bring up some food today, so a big shipment of bread. So at least the crew, there's about 100 of them on board the ship, will eat well tonight. But all of them are really worried about their families. A lot of them are from Kiev. And Matthew, we've had word today that the new Prime Minister, pro-Russian Prime Minister here in Crimea, is bringing forward a referendum, and it's going to be a straight choice for Crimea. Do they want to be with Crimea, or do they want to be with Ukraine? The guys on this ship say they're sticking with Kiev. They're going to stay and hold their positions here, and they'll try and sail out of here eventually and go back to Odessa if Crimea goes towards Russia.